Okay, so it is embroidery. Okay, so I wanted to update on the embroidery stuff because I finished the embroidery that I was doing. It actually took me so long. I started it in December. I think I started it in November, late November, because my plan was to get it done and have it ready for my mom for Christmas. And that was never going to happen. It was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, especially in the beginning, like getting used to the stitches and the time it would take. I thought it would just go faster. I don't know why, but I went into January thinking that I was going to get faster, and I did get a little faster, but it did take a full month to really get anywhere with it. It started off really slow, and I'm starting to get the hang of it now. And by the end, probably around the last 2 weeks of working on it, I got pretty good at it. I feel like things were moving quicker. I didn't have to watch every single thing that I was doing. And like I could watch TV or do other things while I was stitching, you know? Like before it was more just like I had to have the bright lights on so that I could see every hole that I was going through and all of this, and like the chaos in the back of my embroidery. I don't even know. I don't think I might have like a video of that. I don't know. But it was just like chaos going on back there. I don't really have a system or rhythm of how I was getting. I just wanted to get all of the colors done without having to unthread everything and then rethread it to go to a different part of the picture. So I just kept it threaded and just moved over to the areas that I wanted to work on. I was trying to go in a system or in a efficient route, but sometimes it just didn't work out. So there's all these like crisscrosses and stuff. Anyway, so the back, but nobody sees the back. But yeah, so at the end there, I actually was starting to make progress with my stitching. The stitches looked a little bit more, dare I say, good. Because some of those stitches just do not look good. If you look too close, it's like, oh, what happened there? But overall, when you look at it as a picture in and of itself, it actually turned out pretty cute. And there was a point, and it was when I was at the beach, I was thinking, oh, like, I am never going to embroider again after this. It is not for me. It was something that was fun to try, and I certainly loved the artistic aspect of it. And at the beach, I was saying, maybe I'll change my mind when I finish it, because once I see the final product and see what I created, especially working so hard at it, that I would want to potentially do it again. And there is a little bit of an inkling that, like, yes, I could see creating something different, or just knowing that there's other potential projects that I could do that might be a little bit more fun or creative, or just, I don't know, would look really beautiful, especially for a gift. I think it's a really good gift thing to do. Or maybe if I want to embroider like something for a kid or a baby or something like that, that would be sweet and fun, but time consuming. I would have to allocate, like, I would have to know. Now I know how much time it would probably take. That's something I learned. But also, I don't know, I think part of the thing that I don't love about it is just how much focus it takes, and how much like sitting still for an extended period to really get anywhere. For me, I want to be able to see some kind of result after sitting for like 30 minutes at something. I would want to see, I don't know, like pretty good progression. But with this stuff, I would get like a single flower done, maybe. It would be more like I would get half of a flower done in a 30-minute to an hour span. And I was thinking, like, wow, this is taking too long. And also the fine motor, it's really good for fine motor skills. So as an OT, I can say, if you have any problems with fine motor or need to work or exercise your fingers, embroidery might be a good thing for that. However, just like the poking of myself constantly and like pinching and pulling, and you know, it was a lot for my little fingers. And I'm not gonna say that I hated it, because I didn't hate it. I could see the enjoyment out of it. There were times where I got into a rhythm and I did sort of feel it was calming and meditative in a way. However, it was just a little bit too, I don't know, boring. Just to be true and honest, it was a little bit too boring for me to want to do it again consistently as like a regular hobby or activity. And so that's kind of what I was searching for. I was like, am I gonna like this enough to want to do it consistently, or would it be like a fun activity? Like puzzling for me, I think puzzling is one of those activities that I don't want to do every single day, but I will come back to from time to time, because it is something calming, something meditative, something somewhat creative, but you know, it's more just like it engages your brain, but it's sort of fun where you can see a result happening throughout the series of the puzzle. There's just a little bit more of a reward, and it's more engaging and fun. And yes, at the end I saw like a beautiful result of the embroidery design, and my mom loves it. I mean, I gave it to her for her birthday a couple days ago, and she put it up in her kitchen, and she thinks it's just the most beautiful thing. And I did post it on Instagram, and I got several comments of people saying just how good it was and how beautiful it was. And I had someone even ask me to do one for them. And so, you know, that's rewarding, but at the same time I'm thinking, but would I want to do that all the time? No. You know, maybe like once a year or for a special event or something. And to know that I can do it, to know that it's something that I'm capable of doing, that was a nice reward, and something that was an accomplishment of the whole series. Like, I wasn't going to give up on this project. I wanted to complete this project to get the full range of the hobby and see, you know, how I felt about it. Obviously, with most hobbies, the more you do them, sometimes like the better you're going to get. So the more it's worth continuing on, especially if it's something that seems engaging for you, something that seems fun to you in some way. It's always going to feel not as fun in the beginning when you're first trying out a hobby, when you're first trying something out, because it's going to be challenging. It's not going to be something familiar. You're going to have to get over hurdles, and there's a learning curve that is just not always fun, even though the activity itself could be fun if you got good enough for it to be enjoyable. And I felt at the end I was actually moving pretty quickly. I was getting a lot of the different stitches pretty easily, and they started to actually look like they were supposed to look, and that was nice. That was fun. And once I did that, I was like, oh, okay, I could see the vision of how this could be a fun activity. But I still by the end was thinking, I don't know, it just wasn't my type of activity, I guess, even though I did enjoy it. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just think that embroidery is not for me, but I'm really happy that I tried it. And I'm glad that I have the skill now that I think I can create something else if that day comes where I think, okay, I want to give this another shot in this way, or to create something completely different than what I already did, and maybe just add like little, like maybe the project doesn't need to be so big, even though that wasn't like a huge project, but maybe it could just be like something small that I think would be fun to do, to add to an already cool gift, you know? I think that I love the reason that I wanted to try embroidery in the first place is because I do love it. Like when I see other people's projects and I see it on like shirts or different personalized things. I think especially clothing is where I see it the most, where I think, oh, that's so cute and sweet, especially like little kids' clothes. It's so cute. And so I really wanted to give it a shot to see if that was something creative that I might be, I don't know, interested in trying out and doing. And like I said, I think that it's something that I would love to do again for a gift for somebody, and on a smaller scale, maybe. But it's not something I'm going to rush off and do again, if that makes sense. So that was my experience with it. My favorite stitch that I learned throughout the process was, oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it already. It was the French stitch, I believe is what it's called. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to look this up, sorry. The French knot stitch. It was so fun. I had so much fun doing that, and I learned, that was the last one that I learned, of course. And so there was a flower that didn't call for it, but I thought it would actually look really cute with a French knot, and I'm actually having fun now doing this. So I ended up doing that one with a French knot when it wasn't really supposed to be. So I took a creative liberty there, and I really liked that. The other stitch, actually, I really liked, I think the chain stitch, I think that's what it was called, but it was basically one where you go this way and then you go that way and then this way and then that way. I like the result, the way it looked. It was not a fun stitch to actually do, but the final result was pretty, so I enjoyed that one. And just the regular one, the regular in and out, just a plain one, because I think it looked good, and plus it was just the easiest one to do. So yeah, I did learn a lot with it. I learned it was a challenge. It was something that I overcame. It was something that I got through the difficult process, and in the end I did start to have fun with it, and I did enjoy the result, and I think it turned out great. I just probably won't be rushing off to do it again anytime soon. I'm ready to start something different. So maybe I can start doing the pottery more now, and focusing on that now that that's done and out of the way. I felt like really pressured to get it done because I wanted to get it to her for her birthday, so I was really prioritizing that as far as my hobby goes. Sometimes I'll have multiple hobbies going at one time, but in this case I just couldn't. I had to really focus on that to get it done. What else can I say about it? I don't know. If you have any other questions about my experience, then please post them in the comments and I will respond, I guess, because I can't really think of anything else to say other than I highly encourage, if you're interested in it, to try it out. Don't give up, because by the end it will feel a lot easier. It's not as challenging, and then it won't be something that you are just dreading to go back to. Like I was several times throughout the project. I was like, oh, I have to do this now because I want to get it done, but for my mom's birthday, but I'm so glad that I did. And you should never give up a hobby until you've gotten to a certain point where you feel like comfortable with the knowledge that you've learned and the skill that you've learned, to know for sure whether or not you want to continue. Not just giving up because it's something that's challenging and maybe not so fun at first, because things can change as you progress and you get better. And that certainly happened for me with the embroidery, but I got a high enough skill by the end that I feel comfortable saying, I can see where this could go if I kept going with it, but I know deep down that it's not something I'm loving. And so not at this point because of the challenge, but because it's not the type of activity that fuels me or makes me enjoy going back to it. So I'm ready to try something new. If you have any ideas, something you would like me to try as far as the hobby goes on this channel, just let me know and I'll give it a shot, probably. But I think I'm going to focus a little bit more on doing the wheel pottery or some type of pottery, because that's been on my list for a while now and I keep having to put it off. So I want to tackle that a little bit more. And so I guess stay tuned for that. this has gotten way too long, so I'm gonna go, and I hope you guys have a really great day, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow. Bye. I just wanted to show you because I finished my embroidery. Look how good it turned out. I think it actually looks really cute, but it's my mom's birthday, so I finished it on time. I'm so happy, and that's why I was kind of trying to make it was for her, because I wanted to give it to her for Christmas, but I couldn't finish it in time. And then now it's mid-February, and yeah, so I just need to get a frame for it and then get it off to her. But I finished it last night, and it looks so good. I mean, obviously there's 1,000 flaws because it's my first time, and I did have to rush a little bit at the end, but I don't know, hopefully she likes it. I'm sure she will, but I'm so happy.